Welcome to the Deep Dive, the show where we cut through the noise to give you the essential insights you need to be truly well informed. Today, we're plunging into a topic that's, well, it's everywhere artificial intelligence. It's no longer just some futuristic idea, is it? It's here now, and it's rapidly reshaping businesses all over the globe. You hear the buzz constantly, and honestly, for good reason. AI is fundamentally changing how we work, how we shop, how organizations, operate day to day. So, our deep dive today is all about navigating this transformative landscape. We're specifically going to try and uncover what separates the AI winners and losers. We've pulled together a really comprehensive stack of sources, everything from like in-depth research papers to recent articles, expert analyses, and this material gives us an incredible look at how organizations are actually adopting AI. We're exploring not just the amazing successes, but also the, let's face it, frustrating failures, and crucially, what truly sets the winners apart from the rest. Our mission here is to distill all this down to the critical nuggets of knowledge, the surprising facts, so you feel genuinely armed with understanding, ready to make sense of this whole new era.
And it really couldn't be a more timely subject. I mean, the pace of AI adoption, especially generative AI, is just astounding right now. Some recent McKinsey global surveys, they reveal that a staggering 65% of organizations are now regularly employing generative AI.
65%. Wow.
Yeah, just pause and think about that. That's a massive leap from only about one-third just 10 months before that survey. So what we're witnessing isn't just, an evolutionary step. It feels more like a critical foundational shift. AI is no longer this discretionary investment you might think about down the line. It's really become a core part of business strategy. It demands immediate, decisive action from leadership just to stay relevant, let alone, gain any kind of competitive edge. The AI tsunami, understanding the imperative.
Okay, let's unpack this a bit. It certainly feels like AI has gone from something maybe experimental, a bit niche, to an absolute must-have in record time, too. What, in your view, is truly driving this incredibly rapid integration? It seems to have become a boardroom imperative almost overnight.
That's a really powerful observation. The acceleration we're seeing is absolutely undeniable, and it stems directly from AI's proven capacity to radically enhance efficiency and productivity. And that's across nearly every business function you can imagine.
Right, so actual results.
Exactly. From automating routine admin tasks, things nobody really loves doing, to optimizing incredibly complex supply chain operations. AI offers tangible improvements, things that directly impact the bottom line. This isn't just theory anymore. We're seeing it in practice across so many diverse industries. And as a result, the whole competitive landscape has fundamentally shifted. Companies that embrace AI quickly and effectively, mind you, are gaining a distinct advantage. While those that maybe hesitate or fumble the implementation, they risk falling significantly behind. It's really no longer a question of if a company will adopt AI. It's much more about how quickly and how well they can integrate it into their core operations. And what's even more profound, maybe less visible on the surface, is the monumental workforce transformation that's happening right now. Frankly, it truly is one of the most significant change management exercises in, well, modern history. We're talking about a complete redefinition of work itself.
For redefinition, how so?
Well, consider this. Entirely new job titles like AI engineer or head of AI. They didn't even exist back in 2000.
Right, totally new roles.
And now, they're absolutely critical to an organization's success. And the projections are, honestly, startling. By 2030, estimates suggest a staggering 70% of the skills required in most jobs will undergo fundamental changes.
70%? That's huge.
It is. And this isn't just about a few niche tech roles. It's a pervasive shift across nearly every sector, every position within a company. The very definition of being skilled is being rewritten as we speak.
Wow, 70% of skills changing by 2030. That's a massive upheaval for employees, for everyone. So what are the real implications for businesses if they don't proactively prepare for this monumental skill shift? What happens if they just sort of cross their fingers and hope for the best, assuming their existing workforce will just adapt somehow?
Well, if businesses don't proactively address this, the consequences can be severe and really far-reaching. First, they'll face significant talent gaps. They simply won't have employees with the necessary skills to leverage AI effectively.
Right, they can't use the tools they're buying.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And this isn't just about finding new hires, which is hard enough. It's about upskilling and reskilling the existing workforce. That's a massive undertaking. It can also lead to internal organizational resistance. Employees who feel unprepared, maybe unsupported, or even threatened by AI, they might actively or passively resist its implementation.
Yeah, I can see that happening.
And that can inadvertently sabotage the whole thing, sabotage its potential. Ultimately, their capacity to fully utilize AI's benefits will be severely diminished. Because, and this is key, human capability remains the ultimate determinant of effective AI utilization.
So the tech alone isn't enough.
Not at all. AI isn't a silver bullet that works in isolation. It's an incredibly powerful tool, yes, but it requires skilled human operators to maximize its value. Without these comprehensive large-scale upskilling and reskilling initiatives, businesses risk wasting their substantial AI investments and losing valuable competitive ground. It's a critical piece.
And that leads us nicely to something we're hearing a lot about right now, AI FOMO, the fear of missing out. It really seems like many companies are feeling this immense pressure to just jump on the AI bandwagon, right? Even if they're not quite sure where it's going or, how to truly harness it.
Oh, AI FOMO is absolutely a real phenomenon, and it's definitely a double-edged sword.
How so?
Well, on one hand, it's positive in a way. It shows there's widespread recognition of AI's strategic importance. Businesses are clearly aware they can't afford to be left behind. That's good. However, this urgency often manifests as a reactive approach rather than a strategically proactive one.
Right, acting out of fear instead of planning.
Exactly. Companies can end up rushing into implementations, maybe trying to force-fit AI solutions into existing workflows just because everyone else seems to be doing it, under that generalized market pressure. And as our sources highlight, this can lead to rushed, poorly planned implementations. The deeper implication here is that successful AI adoption demands a disciplined approach. It really needs to be rooted in well-defined business problems, clear objectives, and a comprehensive strategy. Without that strategic foresight, companies risk significant investment without commensurate returns. And that often leads to disillusionment, wasted resources, the whole project getting shelved. So just buying the tech isn't the answer. Not even close. You need a clear vision for how it solves a specific problem and then integrate it thoughtfully, carefully into your operations. The winner's blueprint, how AI is delivering tangible gains.
Okay, so we've talked about the urgency, the pressure, and the potential pitfalls if you rush in without a plan. But let's get to the good stuff now. What does success actually look like? What are the winners doing right, and what tangible gains are they seeing that make all this investment, all this effort worthwhile? This is where it gets really compelling, I think.
That really is the critical question, isn't it? Successful AI implementations aren't just about buzzwords or, hypothetical benefits down the road. They're characterized by delivering very real, tangible gains across diverse domains. Now, and these successes, we see a pattern. They are consistently rooted in clear strategic objectives, a solid foundation of high-quality data, and seamless integration with existing systems and workflows. It's about precision, really, not just volume when it comes to AI adoption. Let's start with how AI is revolutionizing customer experience and marketing. This is a big one. Companies are leveraging AI to completely transform how they interact with their customers. Amazon is probably the classic example of an AI-driven customer experience. We all see it.
Their recommendations, right?
Exactly. They use these incredibly sophisticated AI algorithms for personalized product recommendations. And these aren't just random suggestions, are they? These AI-powered recommendations are remarkably effective. They actually account for a substantial 35% of Amazon's total sales.
35%, just from those recommendations. Wow.
Imagine that. Over a third of their sales directly influenced by AI telling you, hey, you might want this too. For instance, maybe you read a review for hiking boots. Their AI system intelligently analyzes your actions, what you clicked on, how long you looked, and then recommends highly relevant complementary items. Things like sleeping bags, portable stove.
The stuff you might actually need.
Right. And that significantly boosts their net sales. It's all about anticipating your needs, sometimes before you even fully realize them yourself. Another great example is Coca-Cola. They've successfully adapted AI-powered tools, including social media analytics and machine learning, to get really deep insights into how customers interact with their brand online.
So tracking sentiment and stuff.
Sentiment, preferences, engagement patterns, even activity times on platforms like Instagram, Facebook. All of it. Coca-Cola's AI now uses this to precisely target advertisements. This means showing the right ads at the optimal time and on the most effective platform for that individual user.
Much more efficient than just blasting ads out there.
Way more efficient. This targeted approach has not only significantly cut their ad spend because they're avoiding those wasteful broad campaigns, but it has also driven up engagement substantially. Why? Because the ads are far more relevant to the individual seeing them. Then you look at the retail fashion sector. H&M has implemented AI chatbots to enhance their customer service.
Those little chat windows that pop up.
Yep. And these aren't just simple FAQ bots anymore. These chatbots efficiently answer product-related questions. They can recommend sizes based on your previous purchases and instantly check product availability across different stores. Their ability to understand natural everyday language means they give prompt, accurate responses. This not only improves customer satisfaction, less waiting, better answers, but it also helps reduce returns, which is a big cost for fashion retailers.
Ah, because you get the right size info up front. Makes sense.
Precisely. And think about the time saved, both for the customer and for the human customer service agents who can focus on more complex issues. And just one more quick one here, CarMax. In the automotive world, they're using generative AI to summarize extensive customer reviews.
So you don't have to read hundreds of them.
Exactly. Instead of a potential buyer having to sift through page after page, these concise AI-generated summaries are posted right there on the research pages. They provide valuable insights to other potential customers and really streamline their decision-making process. So what becomes really clear across all these examples is AI's transformative capacity is moving way beyond basic customer segmentation, dividing people into broad groups. It's achieving true hyper-personalization.
Treating each customer almost individually.
Almost. Yes. And this isn't just about making things a little bit faster or slightly more convenient. It's fundamentally reshaping the entire customer journey, making it more relevant, more intuitive, and ultimately much more satisfying. By leveraging AI to deeply understand individual customer behaviors, their preferences, their real-time context, these companies can deliver highly tailored interactions, whether that's through product recommendations like Amazon, targeted advertising like Coke, or responsive customer support like H&M. It all directly translates into increased sales, better engagement, and reduced customer friction. It really points to a future where sophisticated customer data, coupled with these advanced AI analytics, is rapidly becoming a critical differentiating asset. It's how you win in today's competitive markets.
It's a really clear picture of how AI is transforming the customer-facing side of businesses. Definitely seeing that already. But beyond customer experience, where else are we seeing AI make a massive impact? I'm thinking in terms of, cold, hard operational efficiency. What are the big wins there?
Absolutely. And this is often where the savings can be enormous, even if it's less visible to the end consumer. AI is proving instrumental in optimizing core business operations and significantly boosting productivity. Siemens, the big industrial manufacturing company, is a fantastic case study. They implemented a highly effective AI strategy focused on predictive maintenance.
Predictive maintenance, meaning fixing things before they break.
Exactly that. They installed smart sensors on critical equipment across their plants. These sensors continuously monitor parameters like temperature, vibration, performance, you name it, 247. Their AI systems then analyze this constant stream of data to proactively identify potential warnings or signs of impending failures before they actually occur.
So the AI sees the pattern that a human might miss.
Precisely, or sees it much, much earlier. This foresight allows Siemens to schedule repairs exactly when needed, preventing unexpected costly breakdowns. And the result? A remarkable 25% reduction in power outages at their plants. And the estimated annual savings, around $750 million.
$750 million, just from preventing downtime.
By minimizing those costly production halts. It's an absolutely astonishing return on investment. Shows the power of prediction. Then look at DHL, the global logistics giant. Their operations are incredibly complex, right?
Mind-bogglingly complex, yeah.
Well, they developed an AI system to optimize their delivery operations. This system monitors real-time traffic patterns. It adjusts for weather changes. It even considers customer ordering habits in different areas.
Yeah.
Based on all this dynamic data, it plots the most efficient delivery routes and accurately predicts the exact number of drivers and trucks needed each day. This effectively addresses challenges like unexpected traffic jams or sudden surges in orders. It means fewer late deliveries and maximize use of their resources.
Yeah.
Trucks, drivers, fuel.
Smoothing out the bumps in a very bumpy system.
That's a good way to put it. And then we're seeing widespread leverage of tools like Microsoft 365 Copilot. This is more about automating mundane tasks and streamlining internal workflows, something almost any office can relate to.
Right, the everyday stuff.
Exactly. For instance, British Columbia's Investment Management Corporation, BCI, they reported a 10 to 20% increase in productivity for 84% of its Copilot users. That saved over 2,300 person-hours.
That's a lot of time freed up.
Imagine what those people can do with that freed up time. Higher value tasks, strategic thinking. Or look at Eaton, a power management company. They automated the creation of 1,000 standard operating procedures, SOPs. This used to take about an hour per SOP. with AI, just 10 minutes.
Wow, a 90% reduction. That's huge for compliance and training.
Huge. And finally, look at Puente Enterprises. They're operating a fully autonomous convenience store at DFW International Airport. No cashiers.
Walk in, take stuff, walk out.
Basically, yes.
Yeah.
AI handles the tracking and billing, and within its first quarter, it reported a 47% increase in average transaction value.
People buy more.
Apparently. Plus a 25% reduction in payroll costs, obviously, and a 33% increase in overall revenue. These are massive, tangible improvements, directly linked to AI automating that retail experience. So what these cases really demonstrate is AI's profound ability to transform operational efficiency. It shifts things from being reactive, fixing problems after they happen, to being proactive, even predictive, like Siemens. It's about embedding resilience into complex systems by anticipating and preventing failures. And the quantifiable productivity gains we see across manufacturing, logistics, even standard office work, they underscore AI's role in democratizing efficiency improvements across diverse functions. And importantly, this frees up valuable human capital for those higher-value strategic tasks we mentioned. Ultimately, AI is becoming indispensable for achieving substantial cost savings, enhancing operational continuity, and securing sustained profitability in highly competitive industries.
So it's definitely not just about doing things faster, which is impressive enough on its own, but it sounds like AI is also helping businesses do things smarter, even maybe innovate in ways that just weren't possible before. How does that practically play out?
Precisely. That's the next level, isn't it? AI is increasingly augmenting human cognition and creativity, leading to some significant advancements in both innovation and day-to-day decision-making. Take Colgate-Palmolive, the consumer goods giant. They're strategically applying generative AI and something called retrieval augmented generation, or ARA, to large language models, LLMs.
Okay, RRG. Can you just quickly explain what that means in practice? Sounds technical.
Sure. Basically, it means the AI isn't just generating text based on its general internet training data, which can sometimes lead to inaccuracies or hallucinations. Instead, RAG allows the AI to pull specific, accurate, up-to-date information from a vast internal database like Colgate's own proprietary consumer research to give much more precise and reliable answers. Makes sense.
Got it. So it's grounded in their own knowledge, much more targeted.
Exactly. This enables their employees to rapidly access this huge treasure trove of proprietary consumer research, third-party data, even real-time Google search trends instantly. Employees can now query this entire data set using generative AI, drastically reducing the time they used to spend poring over market research reports trying to connect the dots. Think about the speed advantage there for R&D.
Huge. Cuts down research time massively.
Massively. And furthermore, the AI assists them in quickly generating copy and imagery for new product concepts. They can then test these concepts on digital consumer twins.
Digital consumer twins, like virtual focus groups.
Sort of, yeah. It's a virtual equivalent that avoids human fatigue, can test many variations quickly, and speeds up the entire product development cycle dramatically, from idea to tested concept much faster. In the pharmaceutical sector, Sanofi is using AI systems effectively to guide its managers in optimizing investments. The AI helps them overcome common cognitive biases, things like sunk cost bias, throwing good money after bad because you've already invested so much.
Right, helps make more rational decisions.
Yes, exactly. AI provides data-driven insights that help managers make more rational, effective strategic decisions, leading to better allocation of R&D budgets and other resources. Similarly, Liberty Mutual, the insurance provider, employs an AI-informed intelligent choice architecture. This assists their claims adjusters in efficiently triaging incoming calls and resolving inquiries. It helps guide the adjuster to the right questions, the right information, faster. This improves service speed and accuracy, getting customers the help they need more quickly.
So it's augmenting the adjuster's skills.
Precisely. These applications clearly illustrate AI's capacity to transcend simple automation. It's actively augmenting human decision-making and creativity. By rapidly synthesizing complex information, generating novel ideas, even mitigating those cognitive biases, AI empowers human employees. The core lesson here, I think, is that by offloading the laborious tasks, data synthesis, initial ideation, pattern identification to AI, human professionals are freed up. They can focus on those higher-order cognitive functions: strategic analysis, nuanced interpretation, creative refinement, complex problem-solving. Things humans are still uniquely good at.
So AI does the heavy lifting on data. Humans do the smart thinking on top.
That's a great way to summarize it. It means AI's most profound value might not lie in replacing human intelligence, but in significantly enhancing it, leading to faster, better, and ultimately more innovative business outcomes.
That's fascinating. It truly sounds like AI is getting to the very heart of how businesses operate across completely different sectors, from consumer goods to insurance. What about some of those really specialized core functions within businesses?
Indeed. AI is fundamentally transforming core business functions across a diverse range of sectors, often driving accuracy, speed, and substantial cost reduction in very specific ways. In financial services, think about PayPal. Their advanced AI systems are constantly monitoring transactions, spotting unusual payment patterns in real time.
Looking for fraud.
Exactly, preventing fraudulent transactions very effectively. This protects both customers and PayPal from financial loss, while ensuring the smooth, uninterrupted flow of legitimate payments. Their AI is essentially a 247 vigilant guardian of transactions, far more capable of spotting subtle anomalies than any human team could ever be, just due to the sheer volume. In healthcare, we've seen some amazing developments. DeepMind, collaborating with Moorfields Eye Hospital in the UK, developed an AI that can read complex eye scans. It analyzes these scans to detect potential problems like macular degeneration or diabetic retinopathy with an impressive 94% accuracy.
Wow, 94%. That's specialist level.
It is, and this significantly reduces diagnosis time, which is absolutely critical in preventing vision loss for patients. It ultimately improves health outcomes dramatically. Similarly, there's CancerCenter.ai. They developed a platform built on Microsoft Azure that allows physicians to digitize pathology scans. They can then rely on AI models for analysis, help spot things, and collaborate remotely with other specialists. This leads to higher pathologist productivity, quicker diagnoses for patients, and importantly, a reduction in diagnostic errors, which can literally be life-saving.
Making expertise more accessible and accurate.
Absolutely. And even in areas like human resources, the adoption of AI-powered staffing software is streamlining the entire recruitment lifecycle. These platforms offer features like in-app communication between job seekers, employers, agencies, automated payroll management, seamless integration with existing enterprise systems. DRHR, for instance, is a next-generation AI-powered HRMS platform. It has demonstrably reduced the administrative workload for HR teams.
Freeing them up from paperwork.
Exactly, freeing them up for more strategic initiatives like talent development or employee engagement. Clients are reporting up to a 25% reduction in operational costs in their HR departments.
So HR professionals can focus more on the human part of human resources.
That's the idea. These examples, taken together, really showcase AI's exceptional capability to address complex, data-intensive problems within highly specialized business functions. The common thread is AI's superior pattern recognition and processing speed compared to human capabilities in these specific areas. This leads to significantly higher accuracy, faster processing times, and substantial cost reductions across the board. It really underscores AI as particularly transformative in domains where you have large data sets, a need for high precision, and rapid analysis is critical. It yields both significant efficiency gains and improved, sometimes life-altering outcomes. The pitfalls and paradox. Why AI projects fail.
Okay, that's a really powerful picture of success you've painted. AI is this incredible force for good in business, driving efficiency, innovation, better outcomes. But the sources we looked at also reveal a pretty stark contrast, don't they? There's an alarming failure rate for AI projects. So what's going wrong? What's the other side of this AI coin that many companies seem to be missing?
This is what our sources refer to as the profound paradox,
Hmm.
and it really is striking. While AI's potential is undeniable, and we've just heard about many genuine successes, a substantial majority of AI projects, somewhere between 80 and 85%, actually fail to achieve their full potential.
Right.
Or they fail to integrate effectively into business operations.
80 to 85%. That's huge. That's most projects.
It's a staggering failure rate. It's not a small margin. And it includes a worrying trend we're seeing with generative AI specifically. Companies are abandoning their generative AI pilot projects at an increasing rate. That share rose sharply to 42% recently, up from just 17% in the previous year.
So nearly half of pilots are getting ditched.
Exactly. And this often leads to companies having to rehire human workers after they made initial job cuts based on expected AI performance, which is a clear signal, really.
A signal of what?
A signal of overestimated capabilities, perhaps, and a lack of deep understanding of AI's true immediate impact versus its potential future impact. It highlights this fundamental disconnect between the initial hype surrounding AI and the complex realities of actually implementing it successfully. Many organizations appear to be rushing into pilot phases without that comprehensive foundational understanding or, crucially, a long-term commitment. Let's maybe delve into some of the common missteps with concrete examples that really illustrate these pitfalls.
Yeah, let's do that. So sometimes, is it just that companies expect too much from the technology itself, setting it up for failure right from the start, almost like trying to put a rocket engine on a bicycle, maybe?
That's a great analogy. And yes, one major pitfall is definitely the overestimation of current AI capabilities. A prime example happened just recently, in 2024. McDonald's abruptly terminated its 3-year experiment using IBM's voice AI for drive-thru orders.
Oh, yeah, I remember hearing about that. Didn't work out.
It really didn't. McDonald's had significantly overestimated the AI's ability to accurately understand the sheer diversity of customer accents, all the different colloquialisms people use, and just process complex, nuanced, sometimes messy, real-world orders. The project essentially failed because the AI struggled with those subtle, unpredictable nuances inherent in human interaction, especially in a noisy drive-thru.
Too much variability.
That's exactly. While AI excels at structured, repetitive tasks, customer service often demands unstructured, sometimes empathetic, context-dependent communication that present-day AI simply cannot fully replicate yet. This points to a crucial understanding. For these highly customer-facing applications, AI should probably be strategically designed to augment human capabilities. Focus on automating the predictable parts, maybe suggesting options, but reserve the complex, high-stakes, or emotionally resonant interactions for human agents. It's about collaboration, not full replacement, especially now.
Okay, so managing expectations is key. Now, we hear data is king all the time in the tech world, but how does poor data quality specifically derail AI projects? How does it cost companies real money? It seems like it should be obvious, yet it keeps happening.
It seems obvious, but it's pervasive. Data is not just king. It's the absolute foundation of AI. And AI's effectiveness is profoundly dependent on the quality of that data. There was a sales analysis project at Philip Morris, for instance, that completely collapsed. Why? Incompatible data across different regions, different formats, different definitions. The AI just couldn't make sense of it. It unequivocally demonstrated AI's dependence on high-quality, consistent, well-structured input. And more broadly, organizations actually suffer substantial financial losses. The average is estimated at a staggering $12.9 million annually, directly attributable to bad data.
$12.9 million just from bad data.
Annually, on average. And in sectors like retail or supply chain, this translates into very tangible problems. Excess inventory because forecasts are wrong, delivery delays, stockouts because you didn't predict demand, and ultimately lost sales. Furthermore, nearly 70% of respondents in an S&P Global survey said they struggle to move their AI projects beyond the pilot phase. And the main reasons cited: high costs and significant delays primarily due to underlying data issues.
So data problems stop projects before they even really start.
Often, yes. And in another IBM survey revealed a concerning trend. 42% of respondents indicated their organizations lacked access to sufficient proprietary data, the data they actually own and understand, which they needed to effectively customize these powerful generative AI models. This pervasive identification of poor data quality and insufficient proprietary data as a primary driver of AI failure reveals a critical truth. AI is not a magic bullet. It cannot compensate for flawed inputs. It's fundamentally an advanced data processing engine. If the underlying data is inaccurate, incomplete, or biased, the AI's outputs will inevitably be unreliable and ineffective, maybe even harmful. That cost of poor data represents a direct, significant financial drain. The takeaway here is crystal clear. Organizations must prioritize robust data governance. Comprehensive data collection strategies may be including innovative approaches like data augmentation or generating synthetic data where needed, and perhaps strategic data partnerships before, or at least concurrently, with any significant AI implementation. Without a strong, clean, relevant data foundation, AI investments are just highly likely to yield negative returns. Garbage in, garbage out still applies, maybe even more so with AI.
Okay, so data is foundational. What about when the AI is technically sound, the data is okay, but it isn't connected properly to the rest of the business? Does that cause issues? It feels like a lot of companies still operate in silos, don't they?
They absolutely do, and it absolutely causes issues. A critical failure point arises when AI systems aren't seamlessly integrated across all the relevant sales and inventory channels, for example. This fragmentation leads to a cascade of operational problems, delivery delays, because the AI promised something based on warehouse data that wasn't updated from store sales, inventory mismatches, stock inaccuracies, and ultimately it leads to a very poor customer experience. Imagine interacting with a conversational AI, maybe a chatbot. It seems helpful, understands your request, but then it frustratingly suggests products that are actually out of stock.
Right.
Why? because it lacks that real-time inventory integration
Right.
with the point-of-sale system or the warehouse system.
Infuriating for the customer.
Totally. And it leads directly to frustration and lost sales. This persistent problem of lacking omnichannel integration underscores a fundamental limitation. AI, while powerful, cannot inherently fix pre-existing operational fragmentation or those siloed systems you mentioned. If an organization's underlying data and processes are disconnected, AI will merely automate and in many cases actually amplify those existing inefficiencies.
Making the existing problems faster or bigger.
Sometimes, yes. AI's effectiveness, particularly in customer-facing applications or supply chain management, is directly contingent upon its ability to access, synthesize, and act upon real-time data from all relevant touchpoints and inventory systems. This means that successful AI integration often necessitates prior, or at least concurrent, investments in broader digital transformation initiatives, things like unifying enterprise systems. You really can't put a high-performance engine in a car with no wheels or wheels pointing in different directions and expect it to go anywhere useful. Integration is key.
Right, makes sense. And the cost. We touched on data costs, but can the cost of the AI itself be a hidden trap? Something that derails even well-intentioned projects, especially with some of these newer, more powerful models.
It absolutely can. The financial aspects of AI implementation can pose significant and often unpredictable challenges. Consider FedEx's experience when they were adopting Salesforce's Agentforce 2.0 platform. This involved agentic AI that can take actions on your behalf. They encountered what their executives described as terrifying and unpredictable costs, particularly due to the conversation-based pricing model. Every interaction cost money.
So the more people used it, the more it cost, possibly exponentially.
Potentially, yes. And the return on investment, the ROI, remained unclear to them. That's a scary place to be. A 2024 RAND report further highlights this challenge. It noted that 26% of AI projects fail specifically due to budgetary problems.
Over a quarter fail just on cost alone, just on cost. The inherent difficulty in forecasting these costs accurately and then demonstrating a clear ROI, especially with newer, less mature AI models that often have these consumption-based pricing structures. It can rapidly derail projects.
This really points to the need for organizations to develop much more sophisticated financial modeling, robust risk assessment frameworks, and clearer value realization strategies specifically for their AI investments. They need to move beyond simple pilot budgets and really consider the long-term operational expenditures, particularly for these consumption-based AI services. Without a clear, realistic financial roadmap, AI projects can quickly become expensive money pits.
Okay, this next one feels really serious when AI goes wrong in ways that impact people directly or erodes trust. We've certainly seen some really high-profile examples of this hitting the news. It seems like the risks here are immense, not just financial.
Indeed. And these are perhaps the most damaging pitfalls of all because trust is so hard to rebuild. The deployment of AI, particularly in sensitive areas, carries significant ethical risks that can lead to severe reputational and financial consequences. Back in 2015, remember Google Photos? An early version of their computer vision AI incorrectly labeled photos of black individuals as gorillas.
Oh, I remember that. That was awful.
It was egregious. And the error was attributed to a training data set that contained an insufficient representation of black people, a clear case of algorithmic bias leading to deeply offensive outcomes. More recently, in 2023, iTutor Group, an online education platform, agreed to a $365,000 settlement. Why? Their recruiting software was found to have automatically rejected female candidates over 55 and all candidates over 60, purely based on age.
Blatant discrimination baked into the code.
Exactly. An ethical and legal breach. And Amazon famously abandoned an internal AI hiring project back in 2014 after discovering it struggled to evaluate female candidates' resumes fairly. The system had learned historical biases from data predominantly consisting of male applicants. And it's not just bias. Remember Microsoft's AI chatbot, Tay? Back in 2016?
The one that went rogue on Twitter?
That's the one. Within just 16 hours of its launch, it started posting offensive, racist, sexist tweets. It learned this from interacting with malicious Twitter users, combined with critical lack of safety mechanisms built in. Just this year, 2024, Air Canada was legally ordered to compensate a customer. Why? Because its chatbot provided inaccurate information about bereavement fares. The court ruled the company failed to take reasonable precautions to verify its AI's accuracy.
So the company is liable for what its chatbot says?
They were, in that case, yes. And for lawyers, a really frightening example. Stephen A. Schwartz, a lawyer, was fined $5,000 for gross negligence in 2023. He used ChatGPT to find legal precedents, and the AI hallucinated. It completely made up at least 6 false court cases that didn't exist.
Oh my God, that's terrifying for legal practice.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And even Zillow, the real estate company, they had a significant mishap. Their AI algorithm designed to predict home prices for their house flipping business got it wrong, badly wrong. It led Zillow to overpay for property purchases, resulting in huge losses, the immediate shutdown of the entire program, and laying off 25% of their staff.
A massive business failure driven by faulty AI predictions.
Exactly. These numerous documented instances covering bias, hallucinations, factual inaccuracies leading to severe financial penalties, profound reputational damage, sometimes project abandonment. They all underscore a critical point. AI implementation is not solely a technical challenge. It is a critical ethical and governance imperative. Unchecked or poorly governed AI, especially when deployed in sensitive areas like hiring, customer interaction, legal research, financial transactions, it can rapidly erode public trust and brand equity. And those assets are far more difficult and costly to rebuild than any technical system.
So ethics isn't just a nice to have.
Not at all. It highlights that robust AI ethics, comprehensive governance frameworks, transparency mechanisms, strong accountability structures, these are not merely optional compliance measures. They are essential strategic prerequisites for mitigating significant business risks and ensuring long-term organizational viability and public acceptance. That human-in-the-loop principle we mentioned, it becomes absolutely paramount here for oversight, for interpretation, and for intervention when things go wrong.
Okay, finally, what about the people? The people within the organization itself. Beyond the technical challenges, the data, the costs, the ethics, how do the employees factor into AI success or failure? It feels like this often gets overlooked in the tech excitement.
You're absolutely right, and this is arguably one of the most overlooked yet most critical factors for success. One study indicated that a staggering 80% of companies fail to benefit from AI precisely because they do not recognize that success hinges on people, not solely on the technology itself.
80% fail because they forget the people.
That's what the study suggests. Without a human-centered approach, even the most advanced AI, the most perfectly tuned algorithm, will likely fail to deliver on its potential in the real world. Employee fears about AI replacing their jobs are incredibly widespread. We saw stats suggesting 60% express such concerns. And this pervasive fear, this anxiety, it can manifest in different ways. Active resistance, maybe foot dragging, or just disinterest, a lack of engagement, or sometimes a disorganized frenzy, everyone trying different things without coordination, all of which can severely compromise AI deployment and adoption.
If people feel threatened, they won't embrace it.
Why would they? If employees feel threatened rather than empowered, they simply will not embrace the new tools effectively, if at all. The consistent emphasis in our sources on the necessity of a human-centered approach and this pervasive issue of employee resistance as critical failure factors. It highlights that technology, in isolation, cannot drive successful organizational transformation. AI's ultimate success is inextricably linked to its acceptance, its understanding, and its effective integration by the human workforce. The causal relationship is direct. Fear of job displacement, a lack of meaningful employee involvement in how AI is adopted, these can lead to active sabotage or passive disengagement, thereby undermining the technology's potential and preventing it from delivering the intended value.
So leadership is key here.
Absolutely critical. Strategic leaders must prioritize change management. They need to articulate a clear vision of AI as a tool to augment human capabilities, to empower employees to achieve more, not simply to eliminate their roles. They need to invest in comprehensive training and upskilling programs that equip employees to work with AI, leveraging its strengths while applying human judgment and critical thinking. This is crucial for securing that vital buy-in, unlocking creativity, and ensuring long-term organizational agility and competitive advantage. So just to quickly summarize these common challenges, we're really looking at 5 core areas that consistently trip up AI projects. 1. Data quality flawed, incomplete, or biased data. 2. Integration lack of seamless connections across systems. 3. Ethical and governance issues bias, hallucinations, lack of transparency, liability. 4. Organizational and human factors employee resistance, neglecting the people side. And 5. Cost and ROI high, unpredictable costs and unclear returns. Overlooking any one of these foundational elements significantly increases the likelihood of failure, regardless of how advanced or potentially powerful the AI technology itself might be. The shifting landscape. Where true AI advantage lies.
Okay, so given all those successes we talked about earlier, but also these very significant failures and pitfalls, it really sounds like the very nature of competitive advantage in this AI era is fundamentally changing. What does the bigger picture tell us about where true AI advantage will lie in the long run? Is it still just about having the best, smartest AI model?
You've hit on a crucial point there, and the answer is increasingly no. AI's influence extends far beyond just optimizing current operations. It's fundamentally reconfiguring established industry value chains and traditional revenue models. This means entire industries are being forced to rethink their very existence, their core business models. Let's look at the media and publishing sector as a prime example of this disruption. Google's introduction of AI mode and AI overviews in search results is profoundly disrupting the traditional landscape.
Those summaries that appear at the top of Google searches now.
Exactly. The Daily Mail, for instance, reported a nearly 44% lower click-through rate from Google since AI Overviews debuted. 44%.
That's a massive drop in traffic.
Huge. Publishers are increasingly concerned about a future with significantly reduced traffic, fewer impressions, and therefore plummeting digital ad revenue. Why? Because Google's AI-generated summaries provide the information directly within the search results. This diminishes the need for users to actually click through to the external publisher websites. It's a massive disintermediation. Google is inserting itself between the publisher and the reader.
And can publishers just opt out?
That's the predicament. They cannot opt out of Google's AI search features without completely withdrawing from search results altogether, which, as one source put it, is effectively not much of a choice if they want any visibility online at all.
Caught between a rock and a hard place.
Completely. And while initially, news publishers experienced slightly less severe click-through rate declines, Google's AI mode is now rapidly evolving to respond to breaking news much faster, further intensifying the challenge for them too. The advent of AI is fundamentally altering traditional advertising metrics as well. Volume metrics, like clicks, are becoming less critical. There's a greater emphasis shifting towards the quality of the audience and engagement, perhaps measured differently. Publishers are navigating what feels like a foggy adjustment period where maybe visibility and impressions rather than direct traffic are becoming the primary measures of success. But how to monetize that is still unclear.
And what about smaller players?
Local news media organizations face particular challenges here. They're often notably slow to adopt AI themselves due to a chronic lack of resources, technical expertise, and adequate data infrastructure. This raises significant concerns about their long-term sustainability in this new landscape.
A really tough situation for media. What about retail? We touched on autonomous stores.
Right, the retail sector is also experiencing significant disruption. The rise of autonomous stores, leveraging AI, computer vision, IoT sensors, it's gaining momentum. This is driven partly by evolving consumer preferences, people liking the seamless, queue-free shopping experience, but also by increasing labor shortages and costs in the retail sector. We saw the example of Puente Enterprises earlier. 47% increase in average transaction value, 25% reduction in payroll costs, 33% increase in overall revenue. Those are compelling numbers. Furthermore, looking ahead, something called agentic AI holds the potential to fundamentally reshape commerce.
Agentic AI, what's that again?
Think of it as an AI that can act on your behalf and agent. It can assist consumers directly with product discovery. Find me the best hiking boots under $150 with good reviews for wet weather, evaluation, comparison, and even purchasing.
So my AI talks to the store's AI.
Potentially, yes. Or your AI scours the web, reads reviews, compares prices, and presents you with the best option, maybe even makes the purchase if you authorize it. This implies a future where advertising tactics might need to shift dramatically. Instead of targeting human shoppers with ads, companies might need to figure out how to persuade or engage with these AI agents.
Wow. Marketing to the bots. That's a mind bender.
Isn't it? The profound impacts we're seeing in media and retail really demonstrate that AI's influence goes way beyond simple operational optimization. It is fundamentally reconfiguring these established industry value chains, these traditional revenue models. In media, AI summaries disintermediate publishers. In retail, autonomous stores and agentic AI shift the primary interaction point. The implication here is stark. Companies operating within these disrupted sectors must not merely adopt AI as another tool. They need to critically rethink and potentially completely reinvent their core business models, their revenue generation strategies, their customer engagement approaches, just to ensure long-term viability and competitive success. Adaptation isn't enough. Transformation might be required.
That's a huge shift in how we even think about running a business.
Hmm.
So building on that, it sounds like the AI tools themselves, the algorithms, the models, they're becoming less of a differentiator. Is that true? Is the technology itself actually becoming a commodity? That feels almost counterintuitive given how much buzz there is around specific AI models.
It does feel counterintuitive, but that's a critical insight. And yes, it appears to be absolutely true. A significant trend we're observing in the AI landscape is the rapid commoditization of the core AI capabilities. The algorithms, the training data, they're becoming increasingly accessible. Hardware competition is fierce, driving down costs. And perhaps most importantly, the proliferation of powerful open source models is consistently eroding the competitive advantage that used to come from having proprietary corporate offerings.
Open source models are catching up to the big names.
They really are. Look at DeepSeek R1, developed by a Chinese startup. It's a prime example. Recent benchmarks show it performing on par with leading proprietary models like OpenAI's latest or Anthropic's Claude 3.5 Sonnet. But, and this is key, it achieves this performance at significantly lower training and usage costs. This development signals a profound shift in the competitive dynamics within the generative AI field.
So having the best model might not be a lasting advantage.
Exactly. The emergence of these powerful, cost-efficient open-source models like DeepSeek and just the broader trend of AI commoditization, it indicates that the technological moat around proprietary AI models is rapidly diminishing. It's getting shallower. This means that any first-mover advantage derived solely from possessing a superior AI model will likely become increasingly difficult, maybe impossible to sustain over the long term. The profound implication here is that sustainable competitive differentiation is shifting. It's moving away from the AI tool itself
And
towards the unique and innovative application of that tool within a specific business context. How you use it becomes the differentiator. This involves leveraging your unique proprietary data no one else has, developing unique operational processes enabled by AI, fostering distinct human ingenuity and creativity in how you apply AI, and building strong AI-enhanced customer relationships. This reinforces the critical idea that the how of AI adoption, the strategic choices, the operational integration, the human element, is ultimately more critical and more defensible than the what, meaning the specific AI technology itself.
the technology will be available to pretty much everyone eventually.
Right. The real magic, the sustainable advantage, is in what you uniquely do with it.
That paints a really clear picture. So if the AI itself, the models are becoming a commodity, who are the real winners in the long run? Who's actually making the money, even when the AI models themselves are cheap and plentiful?
That's where the classic picks and shovels analogy comes into play, doesn't it?
Right, from the gold rush.
Exactly. Even as the AI models themselves become commoditized, the gold maybe becomes less valuable. The underlying infrastructure providers are consolidating significant power. They're positioned as the clear long-term winners. They're selling the essential picks and shovels.
So who are these picks and shovels players in the AI world?
Well, there are a few key categories. First, you have the cloud infrastructure providers. Companies like Amazon Web Services, Microsoft Azure, and Google Cloud. They are strategically positioned as major long-term beneficiaries. Why? Because the most direct path to AI-driven profit currently lies in the surging demand for the vast compute resources that AI development and deployment absolutely necessitate. Large-scale AI development is fundamentally contingent on access to immense processing power, which compels even the leading AI developers like OpenAI and Anthropic to forge deep strategic partnerships with these cloud giants. They need the hardware.
So the cloud providers rent out the power needed to run the AI.
Essentially, yes. Second, you have the AI chip companies. Think NVIDIA, obviously, but also others like Broadcom, TSMC, who manufactures many of the chips. Despite maybe experiencing temporary stock price fluctuations due to market fears or competition, they remain absolutely critical to the entire AI landscape. They serve as the hardware backbone for all these AI data centers. The long-term demand for specialized AI chips is widely expected to continue increasing, solidifying their foundational and very profitable role.
The hardware makers.
Got it.
Who else? And third, don't forget the data management services providers. They're becoming increasingly indispensable as the number and sheer diversity of AI models proliferate. The fundamental principle holds true. There is no AI without good data. This underscores the growing importance of companies that help manage, clean, label, and provide access to the high-quality managed data that AI models need to function effectively.
So, cloud, chips, and data management.
Right. This creates a fundamental dependency cycle. Virtually all AI developers and end users rely heavily on these foundational services. Ultimately, while the cost of using specific AI applications might decrease due to model commoditization, the cost of the underlying compute power and the data management required remains substantial and often increasing. And this dynamic reinforces the market dominance and the strategic advantage of these large technology firms that control these essential resources. They're providing the bedrock upon which the entire AI revolution is built. Navigating the future. strategic imperatives for leaders.
Okay, this has been incredibly insightful. So if you're a business leader listening to all of this, the potential, the pitfalls, the shifting landscape, what are the key takeaways? What concrete steps should you be taking right now to ensure your organization ends up being an AI winner and not one of those sobering failure statistics we talked about? These are indeed the critical strategic imperatives for anyone in a leadership position grappling with AI. And there are clear lessons emerging from both the successes and the failures. First and foremost, you absolutely must prioritize clear objectives and measurable KPIs. The absence of clear objectives is a critical trap, as we've seen time and again with those high failure rates. Successful companies consistently define precise business problems that AI is intended to solve. Think back to Siemens' sharp focus on predictive maintenance, or Amazon's relentless drive for personalized customer experiences using AI. AI was a tool, but the goal was clear.
So don't just do AI for AI's sake.
Exactly. AI is not a solution looking for a problem. It's an incredibly powerful tool, but it must be meticulously applied to well-defined business challenges with quantifiable outcomes. How will you know if it worked? Strategic leaders must actively resist that temptation to adopt AI merely due to market pressure, or that FOMO we discussed. It's easy to get caught up in the hype. Instead, prioritize a rigorous problem identification process first. Ensure every single AI initiative is directly aligned with overarching strategic goals and, crucially, supported by clear, measurable key performance indicators, KPIs. This disciplined approach is fundamental for translating AI investments into tangible business value, rather than just, hoping for a good return eventually. Second, leaders must commit fully to investing in high-quality data and seamless integration.
Back to data and connections.
Absolutely critical. As we discussed extensively, poor data quality is a primary cause, maybe the primary cause, of AI project failures. It leads to significant financial losses and operational inefficiencies. Many organizations also struggle with having insufficient proprietary data needed to customize AI models effectively for their specific context. So what are the solutions? Strategically utilizing industry-specific high-quality data sets where appropriate. Employing data augmentation techniques to expand smaller data sets. Maybe generating synthetic data carefully where real data is scarce or sensitive. And forming strategic data partnerships to access complementary data sets. Furthermore, seamless omni-channel integration is paramount. You have to break down those silos to prevent critical issues like delivery delays, inventory mismatches, and ultimately that fragmented and poor customer experience we talked about.
Data isn't just tech infrastructure, it's strategic.
It's a core strategic asset. The pervasive issues of poor data quality and lack of integration underscore this critical realization. Data quality, accessibility, and relevance directly determine the effectiveness and ultimate success of any AI initiative. This highlights that investing in robust data infrastructure, comprehensive data governance frameworks, stringent quality control measures, these should be considered foundational prerequisites for any significant AI investment, not an afterthought. Organizations really must cultivate a data-first mindset. They need to recognize that their unique, high-quality proprietary data can actually become a more sustainable and defensible competitive advantage than relying on generic AI models themselves. Third, and this is so important, it's crucial to foster a human-centered approach and continuous upskilling.
Putting people back in the picture.
Right at the center. We noted the staggering statistic, 80% of companies failing to benefit from AI because they overlook the crucial human element. They forget that AI success is fundamentally about people, not just the technology. Employee fear of job replacement is widespread and real. It leads to resistance or disinterest that significantly hinders AI adoption. And given the profound shift in job skills driven by AI, that 70% figure continuous upskilling and reskilling of the workforce aren't just nice-to-haves, they are absolutely essential for survival and growth.
So what should leaders do?
The core lesson for leaders here is to articulate and consistently communicate a clear vision. A vision of AI as a tool designed to augment human capabilities, to empower employees to achieve more, to do more interesting work rather than simply eliminating their roles. They must invest seriously in comprehensive training programs that equip employees to work with AI, effectively leveraging its strengths while applying human judgment, creativity, and critical thinking. This is absolutely crucial for securing workforce buy-in, for unlocking that creativity, and for ensuring long-term organizational agility and competitive advantage. You need your people on board and skilled up. Fourth, leaders must establish robust AI governance and ethical frameworks.
Tackling those risks we discussed head-on.
Proactively, yes. Concerns about data accuracy, bias, fairness, they're significant. Remember, 45% of respondents in one survey expressed these concerns. This highlights the urgent need for robust governance, transparency, and deep ethical considerations in all AI deployment. Establishing ethical AI committees, maybe internal review boards, and ensuring compliance with evolving regulatory frameworks. These are essential steps for responsible AI development and application. We've seen too many ethical mishaps, algorithmic bias causing real harm, AI hallucinations leading to bad decisions, privacy infringements. These lead to severe reputational damage, legal repercussions, huge financial penalties. It demonstrates unequivocally that technical proficiency in AI is simply not enough without a strong ethical foundation.
Ethics as a strategic imperative, not just compliance.
Exactly. Unethical or biased AI applications can lead to that profound erosion of customer and public trust, something incredibly hard to win back. This means AI governance and ethics are not merely compliance checkboxes. They are strategic imperatives for building and maintaining trust with all stakeholders, customers, employees, regulators, the public. Companies must proactively integrate fairness checks, transparency mechanisms, and robust human oversight into every single stage of their AI development and deployment life cycles. This is the only way to ensure responsible, equitable, and ultimately sustainable innovation. And finally, number 5, leaders must embrace continuous learning and adaptation.
AI isn't a one-and-done project.
Definitely not. AI implementation should never be viewed as a one-time project launch. It requires ongoing fine-tuning, continuous optimization, diligent maintenance, just to ensure sustained accuracy, efficiency, and performance over time as data changes, as the world changes. And remember, the very nature of jobs is undergoing that fundamental shift. It's moving away from mastering specific static abilities towards a dynamic requirement for continuously acquiring new skills and adapting to evolving technological landscapes.
Lifelong learning becomes the norm.
It really does. The imperative for continuous AI maintenance and optimization, coupled with this dynamic evolution of job skills, indicates that AI adoption is an ongoing journey, not a fixed destination. It necessitates building an intrinsic organizational capability for continuous learning, for iterative adaptation, for agile improvement. This means companies must cultivate internal expertise. You can't just rely on vendors forever. They need to foster a culture of experimentation, learning from failures, and continuous improvement. And they must allocate dedicated resources for the long-term development, refinement, and strategic integration of AI. Treating AI as just another one-off IT project is honestly a recipe for obsolescence. Embracing it as an evolving core capability is absolutely crucial for maintaining relevance and competitive advantage in this rapidly transforming AI landscape.
That's a really clear and compelling roadmap for navigating this complex new AI landscape. Thank you. So, to try and bring it all together, the core message from this deep dive seems absolutely clear. Artificial intelligence is an undeniable, profoundly transformative force. It is reshaping every industry and pretty much every aspect of business. And while the core AI technology itself, the models, may increasingly become commoditized, become universally accessible, the true distinction between the winners and the losers, that will hinge on the unique, the strategic, the thoughtful application of AI.
Exactly. And that successful application, as we've discussed, must be underpinned by several key pillars: a foundation of high-quality, ideally proprietary data, seamless integration across all business functions, breaking down those silos, a human-centered approach that empowers rather than displaces the workforce, and critically robust ethical governance frameworks. These aren't just, good practices. They really are the essential pillars of sustainable AI success.
So thinking about our listeners, what does this all mean for you? As you go about your work, your projects, maybe even just navigating daily life in this increasingly AI-driven world. Consider how you, or perhaps your organizations, are approaching AI. Are you merely dabbling, maybe driven by a bit of that FOMO we discussed earlier? Or are you consciously, strategically building these fundamental pillars for long-term success and resilience?
It's a crucial question to ask. Because the future, it seems, belongs not to those who merely adopt AI, maybe just for some incremental efficiency gains here and there. Instead, it belongs to those organizations, those individuals that strategically embrace it, not just as a tool, but as a fundamental catalyst. A catalyst for disruptive innovation, for building and sustaining deep customer trust, and for helping core operational resilience. This really demands a critical shift in organizational mindset, From viewing AI as just a standalone tool or a temporary project to integrating it deeply as an indispensable, evolving component of overall organizational strategy, culture, and ultimately enduring competitive differentiation.
A truly thought-provoking perspective on our AI-powered future. Thank you so much for diving deep with us today. We really hope this exploration has given you, our listeners, a clearer, more informed view of what it truly means to be an AI winner in this new era. Keep exploring, keep learning, keep asking questions, and we'll be here to help you unpack the next big thing.